Well, good evening, Southeast Texas. Meteorologist Kerry Cooper. Let's take a look around Southeast Texas. Of course, we had big rains as expected again today. Saw roofing 911 Skycam network down in Port Arthur, and then we'll switch over to Orange real quick. Happened quick there. Sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. Cloudy skies, but at least for most of the area, the rains have pretty much ended. Now, rainfall totals the last 2 days. Of course, we had over 3 inches in parts of West Beaumont yesterday and the day before, and almost an inch today in that area. But finally, some different areas seeing the heavy rains. Parts of Hardin County, Orange County, parts of Orange County saw some 2 to 4 inch rains, as well as Hardin County as well. So things are quiet this evening, but that'll be changing again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see a little bit less coverage of the showers and thunderstorms. You know, it started off kind of slow this morning, just a few showers, and it just kind of exploded. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Beautiful shot looking to the south outside our 12 News studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. You see the heavy rains off to our southwest. We'll show you that on radar in just a moment. Go to radar, but beautiful shot there. See the lightning cracking in the clouds there. That's down toward Finette, Winnie, a very heavy thunderstorm down there. Not really moving too much, just kind of drifting off to the north, maybe northwest a little bit. So once this thunderstorm dies here down toward Winnie, that should be it for the night. Now I'm going to keep a 30% coverage in for the triangle as we head toward morning. May see some more showers and storms developing as we head toward daybreak, especially from Interstate 10 southward. That's been the case the last several mornings. Up in Jasper, overcast skies up there too. They've had rains as well the last few days. Camera up there sponsored by Provalis. See some of the wet roadways there. Some 1 to 2 inch rains in parts of the lakes again today, especially in the southern parts of the lakes area. And of course, you'll have another chance of rain this weekend too. Better chances coming, of course, in the afternoon, coming in from the south and southwest. It's off in the distance, still lots of clouds. So rain's pretty much over for the lakes tonight, but that'll be changing, as we said, tomorrow with another good chance of rain. We had about an 90% coverage today. It'll be around 60 to 70 tomorrow. So a little bit less coverage coming up for the weekend, but not much. And our weather, Roofing 911 Skycam here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packer and LaPrade. This is kind of looking toward downtown. You see the dark clouds off in the distance as well. Lots of clouds. You know, this morning we actually had a little bit of sun, and that's always a bad thing when you have this much moisture, and we're pretty unstable too. The instabilities, the capes were pretty high, so it didn't take much to get the thunderstorms going, that's for sure. And of course, we emphasize the temperatures in the 70s. Very, very nice, thanks to the clouds and rainfall we've had over the last couple days. Keeping those temperatures in the 70s. I would much rather prefer 70s and even 80s compared to the mid to upper 90s. And finally, over in southwest Louisiana, our Roofing 911 Skycam network over in Lake Charles. Big rains there today, especially on the north side of Lake Charles. They had over a half a foot of rain. It was like 6.5, 7 inches north of Lake Charles, right around Moss Bluff or just east of there. So big rains across portions of southwest Louisiana today too. And we'll go ahead and issue another weather impact alert day for your Saturday, late morning into the afternoon hours, for the possibility of some heavy rains. Okay, the grounds are saturated, we can't hold any more water, so any more heavy rain would certainly cause some flooding. Hopefully we don't see this tomorrow, but that potential's there. So stay weather smart throughout the day tomorrow. Weather headlines, of course, more showers and storms on and off over the weekend. Another 1 to 3 inches in spots likely tomorrow, then again on Sunday, then again on Monday and Tuesday, by the way. Those scattered storms continue into next week. So wet pattern right now. We had kind of a dry spring, but we've kind of gotten into a wet pattern, which can be a good thing. You know, in case that big ridge, the big heat dome builds in later this month in July. We'll be begging for this rain. Remember that. Now let's take a look at the area outside. We're in the lower to mid 70s. There's that big thunderstorm around Winnie, producing lots of lightning still. Having a hard time getting rid of that sucker this evening. Light rain from Jasper to Newton to DeRidder. Things are winding down in the lakes. But what a big thunderstorm that is west of Conroe. About to move into Conroe. That's a severe thunderstorm. It's actually produced some large hail and damaging winds there. That's drifting on off to the southeast, probably weakening before it gets in the Houston area. Certainly it should stay away from us, so we certainly don't need anything like that. But we've pretty much stabilized for the time being, so I don't think there's any way that would hold together and make it here. Anyway, we'll watch it, but that's mainly a western area issue, it looks like, and probably passing pretty close to Intercontinental Airport in about an hour or so. I'm going to zoom in. There's that area of rain from Taylor's Landing to Winnie, around Finette, westward toward Anahuac. Pretty big thunderstorm there. It's producing lots of lightning. Now, it'll be winding down slowly, but it's still pretty stout. It'll pack in a little bit of a punch, but it'll be winding down here in the next hour, and we should be pretty much rain-free for a few hours. Then again, we'll have that 30% coverage coming up, the triangle, of course, coming up later on tonight. Temperatures, it's been a big deal. 70s and 80s again across our part of the state, thanks to clouds and rainfall. But you go just west. I'm talking from Houston westward. By the way, Houston didn't see much rain today. Unless they get that big thunderstorm coming in from Conroe, they didn't see much in the Houston area today. So we're actually pretty close to the edge of that. That edge could be over us tomorrow. We not see a thing. That'd be nice, get a break in the rain one day, but we're too close to it. I just can't lower rain chances much more than that 60% coverage. I can't do that, but you go west of Houston out into central Texas. Austin was in the mid-90s today, mid-90s as well across portions of western Texas. Pretty hot temperatures coming up. They had lots of sun, didn't have any rainfall to worry about there across southeast Texas. Let's check the phone and just see if we've gotten any questions come in yet. Let's see. No, not yet. Feel free to send us a question, though. That number 409-749-9302. We'll talk about heat. Look at Presidio, 106 out there. Now that's some heat with very dry air, of course. Now, across the rest of the state, showers and thunderstorms across East Texas, portions of Southeast Texas, of course, some storms, which are typical along the West Texas dry line each afternoon in the late spring and summer. But notice all of North and Central and South Central Texas had sunshine today, and that's the reason they were in the mid to upper 90s for highs. So we could have that. If we didn't have the clouds and rain, we would at least be in the low 90s here in Southeast Texas. All right, let's take a look at moisture. We have plenty of that. Now we're looking at the mid and upper atmosphere here. You'll see some red dots, little red colors pop up from time to time, which really helps us a lot. Those are upper level disturbances or lift in the atmosphere. All right, let's put this into motion. There goes the upper trough. Now it's moved out of Texas. It's weakening. It's moved into portions of northern Arkansas and Missouri, but it's left a weakness over Texas, what we call a weakness in the atmosphere. Now the winds out of the northwest here, southwest here, basically a weak trough is what it is left over. And when you have that anytime in the summer and plenty of moisture, of course you're going to see quite a bit of rain. Now as we head into your Saturday, lots of moisture. There comes the next disturbance. A little color of red there. That's lift in the atmosphere. That'll be working on through late tomorrow into Sunday. So that's the reason we have the 60% coverage. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, not only tomorrow, but for Sunday and Monday, by the way. See, we hadn't even got to Monday. Let's see here. Yeah, another disturbance. Actually, what happens on Monday, we have a lot of moisture, but a weak area of low pressure aloft, and we're talking mid to upper atmosphere develops. A little trough develops from off the upper Texas coast back down to east of Corpus. So that's going to keep the rain chances going too, especially near the coastline up to around Interstate 10. So 60% coverage on Monday as well. What's left of that drifts into southwest Louisiana on Tuesday. So 50 to 60% coverage on Tuesday as well. Wednesday, still lots of moisture, still a weakness over the area. No big ridge of high pressure building in. Little bit of a high off in the eastern Gulf is going to try to start nudging this way a little bit toward the end of next week. And there'll be a high building over New Mexico too, kind of in question where this high is going to build. If it builds into the southern plains, we'll be hot and dry by next Friday, next weekend. If it builds farther north, we'll keep at least a few showers in the forecast. Models kind of flip-flopping on that over the last couple of days. All right, Futurecast. Now this Futurecast we'll be updating later tonight. We'll have it after the game tonight. We'll be showing you the updated futurecast. This one's fairly dry compared to what it had yesterday for tomorrow, but a few showers beginning to develop late morning into the afternoon here and there. I think it's underdone on the coverage, but we'll see. Like I said, Houston didn't see a drop of rain today, but still a pretty good coverage in the afternoon, especially from Interstate 10 north. We'll see how all this evolves, but at least a 60% coverage in the forecast tomorrow. Rainfall totals, we talked about this yesterday too. This is between now and next Thursday, which is day 7 on the extended forecast. And you can see another 1 to 3 inches still quite likely. And that's probably underdone. In fact, we know it's underdone. See what today we had just 2 to 4 just today in parts of Orange County, northern Jefferson County, especially parts of Hardin County, 2 to 4 inches. So these numbers have been way underdone. And of course, a little bit lighter totals off to the northwest. All right, coastal marine forecast. South winds up to about 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, the water temperature 88. Right now on the coast, pretty light winds, east-southeast, 7-8 miles an hour, not a big deal there. Now, if you have any fishing plans this weekend for tomorrow and Sunday up at Rayburn, of course, you're going to have to dodge some thunderstorms. The best time to be fishing and be up there will be early in the morning, which is always a good time to fish anyway, because the later we go on in the day, the better chances of showers and thunderstorms. 60% up at Rayburn for tomorrow in the afternoon and on Sunday. And you'll have a south wind at 5 to 10. We'll keep rain out of the lakes overnight, but we'll keep a 30% coverage going for the triangle and low temperatures and then lower 70s. The rains have kind of cooled even the nights off a little bit. We've been in the lower 70s the last several mornings. And for tomorrow, 60% coverage of showers and storms, mid to late morning in the triangle, the afternoon in the lakes, and high temperatures in the mid 80s. If the rains hold off to a little bit later in the day, we could possibly reach the upper 80s. All right, weather impact alert day for your Saturday, late morning into the afternoon hours. Not really for severe thunderstorms, but the potential for some heavy rainfall. And of course, we're saturated, and if that were to happen, we would have some brief street flooding once again. So we'll be watching that throughout the day tomorrow. Hopefully everything will be okay. 60% though on the rain coverage tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Highs mid to upper 80s. Finally drops to 50% coverage Tuesday and Wednesday. Remember a while ago I was showing you the moisture map with those upper level disturbances, and they just to keep on rolling through into next week. Finally, by Thursday of next week, we're down to our normal rain coverage in the summer times around 30%. Highs will be back up to around 90. And if that ridge builds farther south than in the central plains, we could drop the rain coverages as low as 20%. That is a possibility. We'll keep an eye on that over the next several days. We'll see where that high sets up, because there's a high off Florida, and there's one in the southwest. The one in the southwest is going to build into the central or southern plains, still to be determined. If it builds farther north, let's say into Kansas, northern Oklahoma, maybe a 30 to 40% coverage in there instead of 30 and 20. So that in mind. But once again, weather impact alert day tomorrow due to the possibility of showers and thunderstorms across southeast Texas once again. Hopefully a little less coverage, but